Welcome back, Bully Ball. How you guys feeling? I guess the San Francisco 49ers are just a second half team. Absolute domination of the Seattle Seahawks in the second half. Seattle leads by a point heading into halftime, 17-16, and the 49ers go on to dominate them in the second half. Elliot Potros said, real good game. Yeah, and the 49ers went into halftime and they literally cleaned up every single thing that was an issue in the first half. Brock Purdy came out in the second half, looked like a completely different player. He was making every throw. Um, and man, tell me about that Ayuk play in the back of the end zone that he dropped but should have caught. That was special. You don't see many quarterbacks in the NFL that can do that. He rolls left, nobody's open, rolls right, beats pressure, gets all the way right, and makes that dot to the back of the end zone. That is top. I don't even know, man. That is like elite quarterback play. Not many quarterbacks can make that play. And it's unfortunate because Brandon Ayuk, we've been saying this is he could be a wide receiver one. He could be an elite top 5 to 10 wide receiver in the league, but he drops those critical passes. And while this one wasn't critical in the moment, that play Brock Purdy Rookie of the Year play, even though playoffs don't count, that shit was insane. What do you think about
But
that play?
yeah, man. I mean, first off, let's fucking go. What a second half by the 49ers. Like we said, first half was easily the worst half of football they played recently, and the Seahawks definitely had the best half they played recently. And then the 49ers turned it on, sparked by that Charles Omenihu strip sack. That's what sparked it all, kind of turned the momentum of that game. Um, Yeah, that play by Brock Purdy, it's tough because we were talking about him playing within himself in the first half. And you kind of got to live and die by that sword. You know what I mean? Like he's going to have times where he makes plays like that to Brandon Ayuk, even though Ayuk dropped it, but he's going to have plays like that. But at the same time, he's going to have plays like he did in the first half too, where he was getting sacked or he was rolling out and almost getting sacked or forcing the ball. So you kind of got to live and die by that sword, man. But that play to Ayuk, that like reminded me of vintage Russell Wilson against the 49ers specifically. You remember him? He would always do that shit to us where he would get out of the tackles, make some plays with his feet, and then throw some crazy pass. That's what that reminded me of, or like a college football Johnny Manziel play. You know what I mean? Uh,
Yeah, that was
yeah, it
insane.
was insane.
Yeah, man. 49ers just turned it up in the second half. Defense allows one garbage time touchdown. Um, completely turned it around. Seahawks were driving into 49ers territory. Charles Omenihu comes up with the play of his career, gets the strip sack on Geno Smith. Nick Bosa happens to land on it. And then Charles Omenihu at the end of the game, kind of in garbage time, gets another sack. So, career game for him. You love to see it. He's been so close, man. He's been like Bosa's rookie year. You remember how close Bosa would get to so many sacks, but he just could
hmm
not convert the sack. That's how Charles Omenihu's been this year. So much pressure. He just can't get him down. And then he finally did that today. You love to see it.
Literally, like in the first half, he had that like he had the sack in the bag. You know what I mean? And then Geno Smith slips out somehow, uh, and then he makes up for it, like you said, with that strip sack right there. Uh, that that play completely turned the game on its head, and the Niners capitalized on it. I think with the touchdown right there. So that was a play of the game for sure.
Yeah, and the 49ers should have been doing what they did in the second half the whole game. The offense was moving the ball easily the whole game. It's just they get into this rut and then things start to unfold, and I don't know what happens, but they needed that halftime to make adjustments, and they made them well. Let me pull up the stats here for you. Final score 41-23, 49ers win. Brock Purdy, 18 of 30, 332 yards, 18.4 average, 3 touchdowns, 18.4 average. That's insane. And, you could say that a couple of those were like Debo taking a play 70 yards, but this dude was throwing down the field most of the game. He was hitting Ayuk for 20-yard gain after 20-yard gain. He was throwing the ball down the field. How do you feel about the rookie last pick of the draft?
Yeah, I mean, I think 3 passing touchdowns and 1 rushing, right?
3 passing touchdowns, 4 rushes for 16 yards and a touchdown. And he had a
Yeah, so
13-yard gain on the ground.
4 combined touchdowns, man. Crazy. But yeah, just the resilience of Brock Purdy, definitely had probably one of the worst halves of his short career so far. And the ability to come back in the second half, still confident, still making crazy throws, like that throw to a Jawan Jennings was a great throw. The ability, okay, I've been getting close to getting sacked in most of these rollouts in the first half. You know what I mean? And then he still can do it in the second half with confidence and make that throw to Elijah Mitchell for that touchdown. Like, just the confidence and poise that he has, no matter if he's having the best game of his life or the worst game of his life, he still has that confidence to come back and throw that next ball. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Something that you don't see from a rookie. That's something you see from like a vet, you know what I mean? Like a 5-6 year vet. And this is this dude's first year, not even starting the whole year. So it's just crazy to see that poise, composure, confidence from such a young player. It's really promising and exciting going forward because it always kind of felt like with Jimmy G, very limited. You know what I mean? The offense felt very limited, and it was always kind of worrisome if we went down, would we really be able to make that comeback? And there was times where he wouldn't make the comeback. I don't want to take away from Jimmy G because he did good for us. But with Brock Purdy, it seems like all possibilities are still there no matter what's happening in the game. You know what I mean? He gives you that opportunity. He gives you, like, if you're getting pressure in your face, get out, make a play downfield, make an off-schedule play. And that's something you didn't really have with Jimmy G. So it's just really promising and exciting going forward into the future, into the next games, because the games are just going to keep getting tougher. The teams are going to keep getting better. So it's just really exciting to see what Brock Purdy can do against that and this offense in general. We finally
Yeah, it
saw.
was
Sorry, one last thing. One of our big keys to this game was Deebo Samuel in playoff form. And what did Deebo Samuel come with? Playoff form. He looked like a player we
hey,
haven't seen this whole year. So that was super exciting as well.
hey, if you guys were here in the pregame primer, I told you Deebo Samuel's workload was going to be up there. Deebo Samuel ended with 9 targets, 6 receptions, and 3 rushes. So that is 12 attempts to Deebo Samuel. The only one who had more was Christian McCaffrey with 15. So I told you that was going to be the guy this game. But yeah, on Brock Purdy real quick, even if the guy is, below average in height and weight, not the fastest guy. And even if you say he's an average processor of the game, right? Which I would say he's an above average processor, reading the field and everything. But even if you said he was average at that, the dude is elite at extending the play. Like you couldn't tell me 10 quarterbacks in the NFL that do it better than him. The dude, both of his first 2 passing touchdowns were on plays that he extended that our old quarterback would have got sacked. And, he escaped pressure. You're like, oh shit, it's a sack. and then he escaped the pressure. And he hits a guy in the check down that would score, but he gave himself a chance by escaping the pressure to do that. And even if everybody says, "Oh, but all he does is throw checkdowns," yes, but the way he throws these checkdowns is by escaping the pressure, giving himself more time, and he's always looking downfield when he's escaping pressure. Even when he's rolling left, he's a right-handed quarterback. You always see him turn back and cock the ball back to throw downfield when he's rolling left. And the dude's been playing great, man. He's having an insane stretch. I don't know if I know. I think Ben Roethlisberger is the only one to have more wins in a row as a rookie or something like that,
He
right?
has like 13 wins in a row. Big
Yeah,
Ben.
but I don't know if there's any rookie that's had a better stretch of football than Brock Purdy ever at quarterback, because this dude is playing insane. And it's not even the stats. It's the stuff that you don't see stats. Just giving an extra second, or those plays where the 49ers snap the ball and he has a quick option to throw that quick slant to the right and he just cocks back and immediately throws that shit out there. Not many people can do that. The quick release like that. The dude's playing out next level football. You'd love to see it from the last pick in the draft.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, in those checkdowns, like, oh, he only throws checkdowns. But it's not like it's not like he's only looking for the checkdowns. He's looking downfield first, and then the checkdowns are there, and he's escaping pressure. He's making plays with his feet. He's doing these crazy throws. Like, could you imagine if Brandon Ayuk would have caught that touchdown? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would have been like, if people weren't going crazy for Brock Purdy already, if they would have made that throw, it would have been insane. Purdy, man, just crazy. Last pick of the draft, who would have thought, going into the year, it was debatable if he would have even made the roster. It looked like Nate Sudfeld was going to make it over him. He ends up beating out Nate Sudfeld, keeping his composure throughout the year, being number 3, practice squad guy. Just the resilience of the player, and you hear all of the players talking about it too. Christian McCaffrey, you hear Debo, you hear all these Kittle, you hear all of them talking about the resilience, the confidence, the poise. It's crazy, and the Niners are going to need that, because the games, like I said, the games are just going to get tougher going forward. The teams are going to get better, and your quarterback, one of the most important positions, if not the most important position on the football field. So you're going to need great plays. But
Yeah.
like we said, as Niner fans too, you got to live and die by that sword. Brock Purdy making those crazy plays. He's also going to have some really bad plays like we saw in the first half. So you got to kind of live and die with that sword and be patient with him, because I think a lot of us forget that he is a rookie quarterback still. You know what I mean? And he was a late round draft pick too. I think we forget about that. Like, since he's been playing so good, we forget that he's still a rookie and a late round rookie. So there's still going to be ups and downs, but man, it's promising. It's super exciting going forward. Super exciting. So
Yeah, and
it's going to be
if
fun.
you guys are tuning in here, drop who you think Brock Purdy plays like, past, present, who's your comparison for Brock Purdy? Because, as I was watching this game, and especially in the first half, Brock Purdy was up and down. He was hitting some nice throws, accurate, on time. And then he was missing some. And like, they were wide open throws, but if he was hitting those, it kind of was reminiscent to me of like a young Drew Brees, how people have compared him to Drew Brees. Because you remember Drew Brees back in the day when he would get hot, that dude would fucking light you up. He wouldn't throw an incomplete pass for like 12 passes in a row. And you'd be like, God damn, how do you stop this fucker? That's how Brock Purdy looked in the second half to me of this game. The dude
I
was just
think
hitting everything.
in my opinion, I think Russell Wilson. I think Russell probably has a little bit of a stronger arm than him, or at least prime Russell Wilson. Maybe not this year, but prime Russell Wilson probably has a stronger arm. Maybe a tad bit more mobile, but just the ability to move around the pocket and make a play with your legs. I think Brock Purdy's pretty close to that. You know what I mean? Short, both Drew Brees and Russell Wilson are both short like Brock Purdy was. So I think those are both good comparisons.
Yeah, just crazy. And yeah, so let's keep going down these stats for the 49ers. So rushing the ball, 49ers were playing one of the worst rushing defenses in the NFL. And, in the first half, they were running the ball well at first, and then they started getting shut down. In the second half, the running game really took off. Christian McCaffrey, 15 attempts for 119 yards, 7.9 yard average. And then he had that 68-yard gain, obviously, in the first half. Debo Samuel, 3 carries, 32 yards for 10.7 yard average. Brock Purdy, 4 for 16. And then the other two didn't do much. Elijah Mitchell, 9 attempts, 2 yards. You don't love to see that one. That's not great. But, 49ers running game really started taking off in the second half. But the thing is they were throwing to open the running game, where the 49ers used to have to use the running game to open the throw. So, it's kind of crazy seeing the evolution of this offense with Brock Purdy at the helm. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I agree. It's crazy because you do see a lot more pass attempts than run attempts, and especially on early downs. The old 49ers would try to run the ball on early downs no matter what was going on. If you had an 8-man front, they were going to run the ball. This time, like if they see 5, 6 guys up top, they're going to start throwing it. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy to see the confidence that Cal Shanahan has in Brock Purdy. Um, Eli Mitchell, too, having the 2 yards rushing, that's not great. But he did have that huge receiving touchdown. So good job of him to stay aware for the pass, on a off-schedule play. And there's a
And
play in the
he ran that fucking safety over too with that one run up the middle. God damn.
yeah, shit was crazy. That guy was like shaking his head afterwards, like he was seeing stars or whatever. um, there's a great play in the first half. Obviously we didn't talk about it at halftime because of the frustration, but it was Debo Samuel was lined up at running back, and Christian McCaffrey was lined up at receiver. And it was just like a quick slant, one of those quick slant throws to Christian McCaffrey, who was at receiver. And I just thought that was extremely interesting. You know what I mean? Like the versatility to have a wide receiver truly line up at running back and have a true threat of running the ball with Debo, and then having a running back line up at wide receiver and have a true threat of throwing the ball to him at receiver. Like it was just insane to see. You probably never see that again in your life by any other team, but it was just crazy to see like the versatility of having a running back play receiver and then a wide receiver play running back. Like it was just a crazy play. Super cool, just to see that versatility and Shanahan actually use that versatility as well.
Yeah, and it's literally positionless football on this 49ers offense, right? And it's intriguing because it really opens up the 49ers draft board, come draft time. Because if you find a guy that's versatile and doesn't have a spot, it doesn't really matter. Most teams can't find places for those people, but the 49ers can. So that'll be interesting once we get to draft season. But I found this play. I found this play for us. I'm gonna throw it up.
Oh, he's throwing it up. One that hurts is Okonkwo, who went to the Titans, man. I was all about that dude pre-draft, and then now he was balling for the Titans before they got beat by the Jaguars, man. He would have been great for our offense.
Yeah.
Great.
So now this play, this is just elite, man. I don't care what you say. You know, it wasn't a touchdown because Ayuk dropped it, but he rolls out to the left, gets pressure in his face, escapes pressure, extends a play, makes a guy miss, throws it, that dot to the back of the end zone. Let's see if they give us another view. That was a touchdown. That was elite. We haven't seen a 49ers quarterback do that. I don't probably
In a
since we've been
long
born.
time. Yeah. A
All right,
long
let's
time.
see. Look at how he makes this guy miss. All right. Look at where he puts that, man. Look at that. Look at that coverage right there. And that's in Ayuk's hands. That's a fucking dot. That's elite.
Knowing he's gonna get hit too. Knowing he's gonna not just get hit, but get rocked by a
Look,
defensive lineman.
can you see the ball right there?
Mm-hmm.
That shit's in his hands, in the back of the end zone, getting hit after escaping a sack. And look, he just
Over a
drops it.
linebacker. Over a linebacker too. It's not like he was just wide open, and he just happened to hit him perfectly in the corner. He hit him perfectly in the corner and over a defender while on the run. Like, yeah.
Let me play this shit just one more time through so you guys could watch it while we keep talking. But you know, elite level play, man. You don't see many quarterbacks in the NFL do this. You see maybe 3 quarterbacks in the NFL able to do that. Maybe 3. And I'm not saying Brock Purdy's on that level yet, but imagine the dude with a full offseason and a professional quarterback coach training him. That's crazy to think about. Last pick in the
Yeah.
draft as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's just making a play by yourself. Literally, like, he made that play by himself, and you think about it. How many people did he make miss? Like 3? That one dude that was
Yeah.
straight in his face, and he pump faked it, kind of slid
Let's
under
see.
him, and then delivered the ball. Like,
So you got this dude, that's 1.
yeah.
Then you got 2, and then
2.
you got the guy right there, 3 that's
Yeah.
hitting him. Just elite. That's
And
elite
then just
level
drops it in the
play.
bucket in the corner. Man, it's tough with Ayuk. Great receiver. Or I would say good receiver. Could be great if he could make those tough catches. He just like those tough catches that are in his hands. He can still catch them, but he just drops them. Like if he can make those catches, man, he would be top
And
top
yeah,
10
you look at
receiver. I'm
this,
calling it now. Top 10 receiver if he can make these tough catches.
there's no reason. Look at that. That's a normal catch for Brandon Ayuk on any day of the week. I don't know how he dropped it, man. Look at that.
Yeah.
And you know,
Yeah,
one thing you
man.
love to see towards the end of the game is you see Christian McCaffrey, you see these guys on the 49ers that played on shit teams and never made the playoffs, and they get their first playoff win and they're just vibing. They're like, oh shit, this is what it's like. So they're going to come out and play even harder next week. You love to see it.
Yeah. Talking about next week, who would you want to play? You have Minnesota, you have New York, you have Tampa, and Dallas. Out of those 4 teams, give me your order 1 through 4. Who you want to play? One being the team
Wait,
you want
why'd
to
you
play
say
most.
4? We could only play 3 teams.
We have Minnesota, uh, New York, and
We
then
can't play New
Tampa.
York. If New
Oh, because they'd
York
be the
wins, they
lowest seed,
automatically
huh?
play the Eagles. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So you
I
have
would say
Minnesota, Dallas, and Tampa.
I want to play the Bucks. We played them already. You know, they've been a shaky team this whole season. You know, they have talent on the team, but they don't play like a team. You know what I mean? So I would want to play the Bucks first. Second, it's tough to say because you know the Vikings are frauds. They're legit frauds, but you know the way our DBs have been playing, it scares me playing with how good their receiving weapons are, that scares me. So maybe I would say Dallas second, and then third the Vikings. But I don't know. That one's kind of a toss up between those two teams to me. What about for you?
Yeah, I think mine would go Tampa, Dallas, and then the Vikings last. But I could see if somebody argued any order of those three teams. You know what I mean? Because they all have their flaws. Tampa, like you said, has been shaky the whole season. We've played them. We kind of know what to expect. You have Dallas, who got destroyed last week by the Commanders. Destroyed, like
By the
terrible.
rookie too. The rookie.
Yeah, Sam Howell. So they've been off and on too. Dak's a pick machine as of late, at least. And then you have Minnesota, who got destroyed by Green Bay a couple weeks ago too. They're really off and on. So I could see any argument of like whoever would be first, second, third. I'd probably say Tampa, Dallas, and then Minnesota. Maybe I don't even know. They're all kind of equal to me, to be honest.
And the good news is who let's see, who plays tomorrow?
Dallas, and Tampa play on Monday.
So yeah, so if the Giants win, you're getting 2 extra days over the Cowboys or the Bucks. And that's huge. That's a huge difference. They're going to beat the hell out of each other anyways, and 2 extra days. That's huge. Playing the Vikings, they're playing a physical Giants team, so it's going to be a fist fight. Even if they win, it's going to be a fist fight. And you get 1 extra day. That's huge too. So the 49ers playing the first game of the playoffs is huge because now you get an extra day to rest. You get to watch them, and then you get to prepare for them. That's huge. And you're at home. So they have one less day and they got to travel to you. You love
And
it. That's huge.
it's not really like any of them are on the West Coast either. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're
Minnesota's a
far.
little bits away. Tampa is definitely on the other side of the fucking coast. And then you have, Dallas is probably the closest team. So they still have to travel a little bit. And, it would just, any of those matchups are fun. 2019, we dogged the Vikings in the divisional round. Or is that the NFC Championship? Divisional, right?
Uh Divisional, because then it was the
Green Bay.
Packers. Yeah.
Yeah. So 2019, you dogged the Vikings in the divisional at home. Um, Dallas, you beat them in the wild card last year. Super close game, super fun. And then Tampa, you played them at home already this year. You got the better of them. Brock Purdy's first start. Um, and then that would be they all have super great stories behind them. Brock Purdy in his second playoff start against the GOAT could possibly beat Tom Brady in his last game as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer if they win.
And you had that thing before our game saying, oh, Tom Brady in play for the
Yeah.
49ers next
Yeah.
year.
Dallas versus the 49ers in the playoffs. That's always a super fun storyline. And then the Niners versus Minnesota, revenge game for Minnesota, possibly us beating them in 2019. Like I said, they're also a super good team, that's won multiple games that were like within one score. So a lot of fun matchups going forward.
Yeah. And jumping back into our stats. So receiving wise, yeah, Debo Samuel, 6 receptions, 133 yards, 22.2 yard average, and 1 touchdown. Told you that dude was gonna feast today. Brandon Ayuk, 3 receptions for 73 yards, 24.3 yard average. Um, and he should have had another catch for that touchdown. He should have been at like I think it would have been like 90 yards and a touchdown, but he dropped it. He should have caught it, man. Brandon Ayuk need to make those tough catches. Juwan Jennings, 2 receptions for 41 yards with that big catch, um, right close to the end zone. I thought that play was going to be an interception, if I'm being honest with you. I saw the ball in the air, saw the safety running over, kind of reminded me of the Rams game last week, but he made the catch. George Kittle, 2 receptions, 37 yards, and he also had the 2-point conversion, which you love to see. Christian McCaffrey, 2 receptions, 17 yards, and Juszczyk, 1 reception, 6 yards. A big thing in this game, you had Robbie Gould, 4 for 4 with a 46-yard field goal. Because, Robbie Gould has been missing some kicks towards the back end of the season, and not like any crazy kicks either. Simple 40-yarders, short kicks, but, good as gold in the playoffs, just like last season. So you'd love to see it. But man, how do you stop this 49ers offense when you got Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, and George Kittle? And I'm not even naming, the backups that could start on other teams.
Yeah, I mean, I think Seattle had a good blueprint going into that first half. You know what I mean? Kind of putting those 3 D tackles, stopping the run for sure, and then getting Brock Purdy off his spot, kind of rolling out. They did a good job in that first half of containing this offense. But is that sustainable? That's really the question. You know what I mean? Because can you really stop all of those weapons throughout a whole 60 minutes of football? So far, no team has. No team has been able to do that really. So who knows if there's really a way to kind of stop that. I think the way teams are going to do it, though, is to put pressure on Brock Purdy, eliminate the run game, and make Brock Purdy beat you. You know what I mean? I think
And he's
that's the only
shown he
way that.
can.
Yeah, so far, yes, that's what I'm saying. So I don't know if it's really sustainable, if there's a way to stop the offense, but that's what teams are going to gravitate to, is making Brock Purdy beat them, not the run game or Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is this 49ers offense is kind of reminiscent of the Chiefs offense, with Mahomes back in 2019 when they beat the 49ers. The 49ers had a great defense and they held them in check, held them in check, held them in check. And then the fourth quarter rolled around and what happened? They exploded because you can only contain them for so long. You have so many talented players that you can only hold them for so long and then you're going to get tired. They'll blow the top off. So, you love to see it. It's so weird seeing the 49ers offense being the ones carrying the team because we're so used to just the defense carrying the team the whole way. So it's a hard adjustment to make, if I'm being honest with you.
I think that's why a lot of fans are so hesitant to believe that it's real, because I don't even know, honestly, when the last time that we had like a dominant offense over the defense. Because I don't even know if like in the Kaepernick, Alex Smith era, like the Harbaugh
That
era.
defense, man, was
Yeah,
still
because I was gonna
better.
say, like, the defense, you had so many good players. So like I was born in 2000, and I don't know if our offense has been able to carry our defense since I've been born, at least that I remember. Obviously, I don't remember like the early years of 2000s, but yeah, I think that's why we're so hesitant as fans to believe it's like real and consistent, because we haven't seen it in so long. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think that's why. Um, One thing too I want to say is fuck the Seahawks. They were playing dirty, trying to twist Debo's leg like that and shit. Like, inexcusable. I wanted us to score another touchdown. I wish Ayuk would have caught that touchdown just to run that score up a little bit on them. Yeah, fuck the Seahawks.
Yeah, and if you guys don't follow us, look at Alex's name tag on his thing. It's SF Bullyball. That's our Twitter handle. Follow us there. We post a little bit throughout the games, just our thoughts as things are happening. We post our bully of the week photo there, some good stuff in there. Um, so yeah, hopping over to the defensive side of the ball. Dre Greenlaw leading the way. His first game back, 11 tackles. Other notable stats, you had obviously Demo Lenore rebound with that interception at the end of the game, and he played well throughout the game. He wasn't giving up no big plays. Um, Other things, Tashawn Gibson made that huge tackle for loss in the first half. That was huge. Great play. Charles O'Manihue, we said 2 sacks. He also had the strip sack, which was probably the play that turned the game on its head. Great play from him today. Eric Armstead with the sack in the first half. And then, you had Javon Kinlaw make that one tackle for loss, which was good. That was his only tackle on the day. But other than that, that's about all the noteworthy stats on defense. But let's talk a little bit about Charvarius Ward today. How did you feel about his game?
Yeah, like our boy Tommy here says, thanks Tommy today for being so interactive throughout all of our streams today. Appreciate it. Fuck the Hawks, yes, I agree. But yeah, Mooney Ward, you know, definitely struggled. I think this is probably the worst that he's looked since being on the Niners. This is definitely up there with the Dolphins game, and he was getting toasted in that game. Yeah, DK got the better of him. DK's a super good receiver, but DK definitely had the better of Mooney. He had the long touchdown pass, and he had a lot of other receptions as well for a decent amount of yardage on like third and longs, third and shorts. That's who they were looking to was DK. It was mainly on Mooney Ward. So it's kind of concerning in that way. Do I think it's something that will continue going forward? Probably not. But I definitely think that D'Amico Ryans needs to make some adjustments and not have our guys so far off of the receivers to start the play. You know what I mean? Especially on those third and shorts. They're 6 yards off and the sticks are at like 2-3 yards. I know you don't want to get beat deep, but come on. And then if DK's constantly beating Mooney Ward, shadow him. Have Tayshaun Gibson shadow. Shadow to that side a little bit. Bracket DK. Don't let one guy just beat you for the game. So Mooney Ward definitely struggled. I don't think it'll be something consistently going forward, but it's a little bit concerning. Something to keep your eye on at the very least.
And
What are your thoughts?
what's interesting is we didn't watch the all 22 from that Seahawks game in week 15, but when they were showing Charvarius Ward locking up DK, after a play or whatever, he was pressing him. And then this week he was playing, 5-6 yards off of him most of the game. So it's interesting that they didn't adjust and have him press him, because it seemed when he was in press, he was able to, knock him off his route, keep him from getting separation down the field. Whereas playing a couple yards, 5-6 yards off of him allowed him to create that space, which was kind of interesting to see. So, I am more encouraged to see that it was Charvarius Ward getting beat than if it was Demo getting beat. Because if it was Demo getting beat, that's something we already know. And we know teams are going to attack that consistently. Seeing Charvarius Ward get beat, that's something you can adjust, because Charvarius Ward is one of the better corners in the league. So I'd rather it be that way than the other way. Because if Demo's getting beat, you're not really going to adjust that. It's just going to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's give credit too, though, to DK because he definitely had a lot of great catches, like where Mooney was on him, and DK would just have like a great catch. You know what I mean? So let's give some credit to DK too. It wasn't all on Mooney, but he definitely was getting beat this game. So DK
Yeah.
is still a great receiver. It's not like some bum was just burning him, which is at least a little bit more reassuring, I guess you could say.
Yeah. And so DK Metcalf had 13 targets, 10 receptions, 136 yards, 13.6 yard average, 2 touchdowns. And 1 touchdown was in garbage time, though.
Well, one was like what, 50 something yards too?
Yeah, it was
Like a
50
50
yards.
yarder or something.
Yeah.
So, um, if you guys are watching right now, let us know who you think your candidate for Bully of the Week is. Who would you say won Bully of the Week in this game? Joseph, who do you think won Bully of the Week this week?
My bully of the week is who I said my bully of the week was prior to the game. I said Dre Greenlaw is a Seahawk killer. He led the team in tackles, wasn't my bully of the week. I said Debo Samuel is going to have a huge game today, tons of targets, tons of touches, and he did. And he went off. Could be bully of the week if you wanted him to be. But the bully of the week is Brock Purdy. Even the 49ers come out of halftime. Brock Purdy was shook going into halftime. He looked shook. He comes out, and it wasn't all easy. He was making some throws into tight windows with pressure in his face on that first drive. And he was making those throws, and he stood in the pocket. He escaped pressure. He did everything I said he needed to do for us to win this game and more. Brock Purdy wins his first bully of the week from us, for me at least.
Yeah, that's definitely this one's tough because Debo was kind of that reassuring player throughout the whole game consistently. First half and second half, Debo was making plays. Um, but yeah, it's tough because Brock Purdy was very resilient and kind of like bullied through the struggles of the first half. You know what I mean? Like he got over them. He made plays. He took hits. But at the same time, Debo also was making some crazy catches. I don't know. Debo on most of those catches, man, was not going down on first or second contact. He was going down on like third and fourth contact on most of those
Yeah, it is
catches if you
true
watch them.
because
Thinking about it right now.
Debo was catching the ball. It'd be like 3rd and 6. He'd catch the ball like 2 yards upfield and get the first down with people
Yeah.
on him multiple
Yeah.
times. Um, but same thing, Christian McCaffrey also went off. So you would have to give him a shot too if you're saying Debo or McCaffrey.
Maybe you put this one out on our Twitter. We put out a poll and let the fans decide who thinks they should get it. Because I think we're split. I think I would give it to Debo. Just thinking about the past plays in this last game, like Debo was breaking a shit ton of tackles on every single play. If we watch the highlights and stuff, but Purdy was putting them in the opportunity to make those plays as well. So
Yeah,
I
because
think this
most of the
one,
time when he was hitting Debo, he had pressure on his ass. And he was
yeah,
hitting them last second on like third and short, where it was like, oh fuck, we're gonna turn the ball over. We're gonna go 3 and out. But
yeah,
we'll put out a poll. We'll
yeah.
put out a poll and see what people want.
So if you guys are watching this, we'll probably put out a poll a little bit later, maybe tomorrow. So go check our Twitter out at SF Bully Ball. We might put out a poll. You can put polls out on YouTube, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So we might put a poll out on the YouTube too. Go vote for Bully of the Week. I think we're going between Brock Purdy and Debo Samuel for Bully of the Week. So go vote on that so we can to see who's going to get that one.
Yeah. So I have another topic to touch on. Our second half is bully of the week. Well, it's true, man. I'm not used to the 49ers being a second half team. They always used to start strong and then they would taper off at the end. And that's how they would lose those heartbreakers. But
yeah.
hey, if we just got to fight through, just throw punches, take punches in the first half and then put teams away, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
But this is an interesting thing to look at, right? So Brock Purdy takes over very, very early in that Dolphins game. 49ers score 33 points on offense. They then go on to play the Buccaneers, 35 points. They then play Seattle, 21 points. Commanders, 37 points. Raiders, 37 points. Cardinals, 38 points. And then today, 41 points. The 49ers have been under 30 points one time since Brock Purdy has been the quarterback of the team. And everyone is saying that any quarterback can do this on the 49ers. How true is that?
Not very true. Jimmy G, I don't want to talk shit about Jimmy G because Jimmy G was a good quarterback for us. He played solid for us. A top 5 49ers quarterback, I would say, just from his success. But Jimmy G wouldn't have been able to do this. Like we said, those off-schedule plays that Brock Purdy's making with his legs, just the pocket awareness, the pocket mobility, Jimmy G doesn't have that. Jimmy G senses some pressure in his face. He's more than likely going down because he doesn't throw the ball away. He's more than likely taking a sack. There's multiple plays in my head that I can remember of him just getting rattled. Nobody was even relatively close to him, but he would just get rattled in the pocket and kind of panic. Brock Purdy doesn't do that. He senses pressure up the middle, he's rolling out. Or he sensed pressure from the edges and he would step up in the pocket, So Jimmy G didn't have that. So any quarterback having that type of success or whatever in our system, I don't think is very true at all. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't either because we've seen Brian Hoyer, CJ Beathard, and Nick Mullins not be able to do it. So, I think it takes a good quarterback to do it. And so in the first 11 games where Brock Purdy was not the quarterback, 3 times they went over 30 points. Brock Purdy has played in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and they've gone over 6 times over 30 points. Yes, they've had Christian McCaffrey for that whole stretch, but I don't think that's the whole point.
The shit's so annoying too, because a lot of people's biggest argument is, look what Nick Mullins did. Look at the stats. There's a graphic comparing Mullins to he had better stats. I think Brett Favre and some other great quarterback. But Nick Mullins got most of those yards because the Niners were getting their fucking ass beat in the first half, and teams would put in the subs, and Nick Mullins would then start getting yards at the end of the game. The vibe with Nick Mullins was so much different than Brock Purdy. So those stats that he was getting were accumulated at the end of the game when teams are throwing it in. You know what I mean? All right, let's rest these dudes. We won. And then Nick Mullins would start getting those easy yards. So people who use that argument is not valid, especially if you actually watch the 49ers play during that time like we did.
Yeah,
so that's not a valid argument in my opinion.
definitely. And like you had mentioned earlier, those 49er teams would run the ball on first and second down and then throw it on third down exclusively. You knew what was going to happen. Oh, they're going to run it. Oh, they're going to run it. All right, now they're going to pass it because it's third and long. Oh, they're going to run it. Oh, they're going to run it. Third and short. Oh, they're going to run it. That shit was insane. It used to piss us off how bad it was. And now the 49ers don't have to do that, and you love to see.
Yeah. It just gives you that confidence and just that flexibility to keep a defense honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
it's just exciting, reassuring. But, I definitely fell victim of it. We have to live and die by that sword of Brock Purdy. When he's doing those rollouts and making those plays, there's going to be times where he's going to make bad plays, get sacked, force it. But then there's also going to be plays like that play to Brandon Ayuk that Ayuk dropped, or the play to Eli Mitchell for the touchdown. Uh, I definitely fell victim of that, saying that he needs to play within himself or whatever. Um, so yeah, I think we just gotta, you live and die by that sword, and that's what we got to do with Brock Purdy.
Yeah, man. And it's crazy what we're seeing, when the 49ers, when Jimmy G went down, I know basically all of us were like, all right, the season's a wrap. Like, it don't matter at this point. You're on your third quarterback. Nobody has a good third quarterback. I don't give a damn who you think you are. Nobody does. So, it's crazy what Brock Purdy's doing. It's crazy what the 49ers are doing. And, I'm just happy we get to see another week of 49er football because I just don't want it to end. It's always asked when the season ends if you don't hoist the Lombardi.
Yeah, definitely. I remember holding my breath in that Dolphins game when Brock Purdy came in, and every time that he would throw, I would be holding my breath like, damn, man, just don't throw a pick. Just do something. It was like the 5 stages of grief. You like bargain. I was like bargaining with myself, like, fuck, maybe if he can just do enough, we can get to the Super Bowl or something. But now it's like a whole different level of play. And it's just exciting. Like you said, super happy that we get to see another week. Hopefully we get to see another 3 weeks, right? 3 weeks, divisional
Yep.
championship and Super Bowl. So yeah, 3 weeks of football, hopefully.
Yeah. And, just take it one week at a time,
Mm-hmm.
enjoy it. Um, it's crazy. I had another topic I wanted to touch on, but I fucking forgot. I drank too many beers during this game. But you have any other topics you wanted to touch on?
Uh, let's see. I took some notes during the first half, but I think we pretty much covered them all. Um, no, yeah, think it's good, man. I just wish we would start out a little bit hotter in the first half. Starting out slow. If you play a good team like Philly or maybe even Minnesota, might get a little iffy there. But that's a worry for the next week, I guess.
Damn. So now it looks like Emmanuel Acho just dropped something talking about Brock Purdy. I hate this dude. He be making bold ass claims and he be saying some stupid shit. And then he be saying stuff like he was a top player in the NFL, which he wasn't. But he said he retweeted a post from last year, December. Well, it was December 7th of this past year. With Kyle Shanahan, Matt Schaub went to a Pro Bowl. RG3 was Rookie of the Year. Matt Ryan was NFL MVP. And then he said some 12-6-22 Brock Purdy. So he's basically saying the only reason Brock Purdy is doing well is because of Kyle Shanahan. And I don't think that's true, if I'm being 100% honest with you. I know Kyle Shanahan probably be getting pissed off because Brock Purdy he don't throw to the first option every time. He actually be reading the defense and throwing the ball to the guy that's open. And I know that pisses Kyle Shanahan off. So, I don't think it's 100% Kyle Shanahan.
They even said that during the broadcast, that he's like able to get through his progressions and find the guys that are open. So it's not like Shanahan's just scheming everybody open, and he's just hitting the first guy, not looking at any other receiver. That's like what Nick Mullins would do. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Tabor Peppers said he deleted it, LMAO. So somebody was probably talking shit about the
Oh,
Niners and
did
then
he?
deleted it. Yeah. So I don't know who he was talking about, but
Brock Purdy today, the second most passing yards in a playoff game in 49ers history. Only Joe Montana had more in a single game. That's pretty crazy, if you ask me.
it's exciting, man. I don't remember the last time that we, the season's not over, obviously, but I don't remember the last time that we came out of a season with like a guaranteed, like, damn, this quarterback's legit. You know what I mean?
So he's your
But
starting quarterback next year?
there's still a lot of football to play. That's what I was just about to say. There's still a lot of football to play because if Jimmy G makes that throw in the Super Bowl, everybody's like, damn, Jimmy G's the next GOAT, next great 49ers quarterback. So still a lot of football to play. Verdict's not out yet on Brock Purdy. Still to be determined.
Yeah, I agree. But that's all I got. You got anything else for the people?
Nope. Fuck the Seahawks. I'm grateful for another week of Niners football. Grateful.
Yeah.
Excited.
And we appreciate everyone that's tuned in, even if it's to one of our live streams today. We've done 3. We usually do 1. But we appreciate you. If you end up watching these later, we appreciate you as well. We're trying to grow this channel. I believe we're at 170 subscribers right now. And we appreciate every single one of you. Watch our new short videos that we posted before the game and after the game. And we appreciate you guys.
Yep.
And that's all I
Don't
got.
forget to check out our poll on Twitter if you're still watching right now, and go vote for Bully of the Week so we can see who's going to be Bully of the Week. Probably put out a poll on YouTube as well, so go vote on those for us.
Yes, sir. We'll
All
see
right.
you guys on our next episode.
Peace.
Peace.